Here's an exercise for the tremors abdominis that you can do anytime during the day to quickly flatten your midsection. First, place your finger on your belly button. Now, try to pull your belly button in as far away from your finger as possible. Once you pull your belly button in as far away from your finger as possible, hold that position for 3 to 5 seconds. After holding it for 3 to 5 seconds, relax and repeat the exercise again. Each time that you repeat this exercise, try to pull your belly button in just a little bit farther away from your finger as you did the last time. It's very important that you don't hold your breath while doing this exercise. Try to breathe normally while holding in your tremors abdominis. Now this exercise can be done anytime during the day, and you can't overtrain with this exercise. Once holding in your tremors abdominis for 3 to 5 seconds becomes easy, increase the time that you hold in your tremors abdominis from anywhere between 10 to 30 seconds or even a minute. You can try other variations of this exercise if it becomes too easy for you. In one variation of this exercise, instead of placing your finger on your belly button, place your finger on your upper abdominal region and try to pull your upper abs as far away from your fingers as possible and hold it for 3 to 5 seconds. These same rules apply. Don't hold your breath, breathe normally, and increase the time that you hold in your tremors abdominis as your tremors abdominis muscles get stronger. In the other variation of this exercise, place your finger on your lower abdominal region or about 1 to 2 inches under your belly button and pull your lower abs as far away from your finger as possible, and again, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds. Remember, each time that you repeat any of these exercises, try to pull in your tremors abdominis muscles in a little bit farther than you did the last time. After doing these tremors abdominis exercises for about a week, it's time for you to take your tremors abdominis training to another level. Instead of doing these exercises on and off during the day, now it's time for you to get into the habit of doing this exercise 24 hours a day without stopping. To do that, first, you're going to need a rope. Again, place your finger on your belly button and pull your belly button in as far away from your finger as possible. With your tremors abdominis muscle pulled in as far as it can go, take your rope and tie it around your waist, not too tight, but tight enough so the rope doesn't slip downward. The rope is there to remind you to keep your tremors abdominis muscles pulled in during the day. Every time that you relax your tremors abdominis muscle, you will feel the rope tighten around your waist, and this will remind you to pull your tremors abdominis muscles back in. Now the last thing for you to do is to put on a shirt and nobody ever know that you're exercising your abdominal muscles. It takes a lot of determination to train your tremors abdominis all day without stopping, and by no means do we mean for you to do this exercise while you sleep. Since using a rope to remind you to train your tremors abdominis muscle all day long without stopping may be difficult for most of you, start off by using the rope to help remind you to train your tremors abdominis for 30 minutes at a time, then 1, 2, and 3 hours at a time, and so on, increasing your time each day. Also, pulling your tremors abdominis muscle all the way in and maintaining that position for a certain period of time may be too difficult at first for some of you. Instead of pulling your tremors abdominis muscle all the way in, start off by pulling in your tremors abdominis about a quarter of the way in, and then tie your rope around your waist and hold that position. Once you're comfortable holding in your tremors abdominis a quarter of the way in, keep pulling in your tremors abdominis in a little bit more each day, working your way up to the point where you can pull your tremors abdominis all the way in with a rope tied around your waist to help remind you to constantly keep your tremors abdominis pulled in. Again, it's very important that you breathe normally while performing any of these exercises. Don't hold your breath. When you perform these tremors abdominal exercises daily, your tremors abdominal muscles will become stronger, and as a result, your pot belly will eventually turn into a flat midsection. As your tremors abdominis muscles get stronger, You won't have to perform these tremors abdominal exercises constantly throughout the day, because after consistently training your tremors abdominis daily, your tremors abdominis will become strong enough to hold your midsection in at a flatter position without any effort on your part. Now let's say that you're too tired, you don't have the time, or not enough space to do exercises like sit-ups, crunches, or the exercises you already seen on this tape that'll all help you get that good-looking six-pack you always wanted. Well, here are some simple exercises you can do that not only works on your tremors abdominis muscle, but also helps you build a good-looking six-pack at the same time. This first exercise works on your lower abs and your tremors abdominis. Again, place your finger on your belly button. Pull your belly button in as far away from your finger as possible. Then place your fingers on your lower abs. Take in a deep breath and really squeeze your lower abs for 3 seconds. Relax, return to starting position, and repeat the exercise again if desired. When you're squeezing your abs for 3 seconds, take your fingers and press them hard against your lower abs. It should feel like you're pressing against a brick wall. Unlike the other tremors abdominis exercises, you do want to hold your breath while you're squeezing your lower abs for 3 seconds. The second exercise you can do is just like the first one, but only this time you're working your upper abs. Do the exact same steps as you did in the first exercise, except this time you put your fingers on your upper abs and squeeze them hard for 3 seconds. Remember to push your fingers against your abs. If it doesn't feel like you're pressing against a brick wall, but more like a soft pillow, then you need to squeeze your abs even harder. The last exercise you can do is a combination of the first two that works on your upper and lower abs. This time, after pulling your tremors abdominis muscle in as far as it can go, you're going to place your fingers like so and squeeze your upper and lower abs for 3 seconds. Again, press hard with your fingers until your abs feel as hard as a brick wall, and hold your breath for the 3 seconds as you're squeezing your abs. By doing any of these 3 exercises, you not only work on your tremors abdominis, but you also work on building that six-pack you always wanted. These exercises can also be done anytime during the day, and you can't do too many of these. A good idea may be to start off doing 2 reps of all 3 exercises every hour. Okay, so there you have it. You have now seen how you can train your tremors abdominis muscle to flatten your midsection. Exercising your tremors abdominis muscle is the best way and the easiest way you can flatten your midsection. Don't take these exercises lightly. Do them daily, and you'll be surprised at the results you'll get.